Hello and welcome to Big Easy Glam. I'm John Joseph Dogdeal, your host, and today we are at John Robert Powers Modeling School and Acting School. It's also a launch agency for all of you who are interested in modeling or acting. Today I'm going to be talking to Jessica Ecoin-Muster, who is one of the trainers here and also one of my models for my collection. I'll also be interviewing two models that she's worked with who won IPOP in Los Angeles as Models of the Year, Ahmad, hot male model, and Madeline, a gorgeous female model. I will be talking to all three of them, so fasten your seatbelts and get ready for Big Easy Glam. Today I'm talking to one of the trainers who's actually modeled for me. Her name is Jessica Ecoin-Muster. And I got it right, yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a mess today. I'm nervous about this one, people. Come on, get with it. Nerves, right here. I'm gonna tell you a little story about how I met Jessica. I met Jessica at a NOLA Fashion Week, which was put on by Andy Nickens, Andy Eaton at the time. Now she's Andy Nickens, since married. And she was sitting in the audience and she was behind me and she was with somebody who actually had modeled for me before. And I turned around after one of the shows and I was like, oh, you're gorgeous. Why aren't you in the shows? And she was like, oh, I was supposed to be, but they replaced me with the other tall girl because she's from New York and she just flew in. And I was like, oh, they were so wrong about that. And after that, you modeled for me. Did you have fun modeling for me? Be honest.
Yeah, I really did. That was a very good first experience because things are not always that fun. Yeah. So it was really good for me to have that experience to begin with.
As far as the New Orleans modeling world goes, I've noticed that you, along with many of the girls that I worked with in the beginning, because I used to do what you do, train, and I used to walk. Believe it or not, I was the Kate Moss of male models in the early 90s. And the thing is that I had the disposition because I was short. I was 5'8", male model. You're 6'1", you're 6'1", and that's not the norm. That causes problems.
A problem in the modeling world.
Yeah, and so what happened when you go to castings? What are you up against? You know, because you already have that 6'1" wall. How do you prepare yourself for the word, you know?
Okay, well, I'm already prepared for it. So that's something, you know, I don't go into a casting where I'm going to go in and get upset because I already know probably the first comment that's going to come out of your mouth is, oh my goodness, you're so tall. So I'm already prepared for that. And, you know, it's just something that I've learned to deal with. Some designers love my height and some designers don't like it. And I just have to find the right designers to work for and work with. And that's something that over the past few years I really have done. I worked with you for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then I found another designer here that's from New Orleans that I work for a lot now. Pedram Couture.
Yes.
So I'm one of his main models now, and he takes me everywhere with him. You know, LA, we did LA Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. So, you know, you just have to find the right people to work with. And when I do go on a casting, it's a new casting, people I don't know. I just know that, you know, I'm prepared for it. It's probably going to be an issue, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me anymore.
And so, okay, this whole John Robert Powers thing, I'm going to be honest. Back in the day, I was very put off by modeling schools and everything else because I was like, oh, it's a money scam and da-da-da. And I come from the old world where if you have it, you have it. These days, what I'm seeing on the runway is like, how do I say it without sounding offensive? I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be real. There's no real quality into the walk that's happening. Now I'm kind of for the schools because they come in and yeah, it is about the signature walk. How do you bring that signature walk out of everybody? Like, because I know you try and you show them what you do, but how do you get them to realize that a signature walk means it's their own walk?
Right. Well, we just first of all kind of start with the very basic things. You know, if some people might not even know how to walk in heels. Like Madeline, you're going to meet in a little bit. She'd never walked in heels before. So, you know, we had to start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But you just start it wherever they're at, teach them basic things that you know you're going to need to know to walk down the runway. And then from there, we just take it, you know, they start to gain confidence and you start to see their personality come out in their walks. And that's when they really just start to shine and the walks become really good. I'll just help them with little technical things like, you know, maybe pull your shoulders a little bit more back or, you know, pull your body up more. Let's take a longer stride in your step. Things that are little technical things I can help them with. But that signature walk that comes out, that's all them. And I just kind of help them along the way.
Go on. And now I do have to say, your walk, bam, bam, and bam. Like triple bam, bam. You, Annie, and Tuvo. The three of you have the three best walks in this city. You guys all have that same mannerism though. You own it. There's this confidence.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I like to try to pass on to my models. It's just like, yes, you're gonna have your own signature walk, but you know, this is what I've learned and I wanna give to you. Because I remember when I started, I had no clue what I was doing. And when you first start out, that's just not a good feeling to have. You kind of need somebody there to just be like, okay, let me help you a little bit. So.
Rock on. I love you. So, thank you. And okay, wait, I shook your hand. I kind of like was ready to kick you out of here, but you know what? Tell me a little bit about the two that are coming on. Now we have Madeline and Madeline.
Okay, well, we'll start with Madeline. She started training with us here at John Robert Powers a little over a year ago. She was that perfect, you know, we just saw, actually she came to an audition. It was me and my boss. And we saw her, and other people were there, and they were just kind of like, you know, whatever. And we saw her, and we were like, we want her. We chose her to train for iPop. So it was a 3-month session. And she became my special project. I, you know, would take her to my house. I gave her a bunch of my clothes, tried to style her. We kind of helped her with her hair and her makeup and taught her a lot of different things. And then we started with her walk from the very beginning. She had never walked in heels. We taught her how to walk in heels and then just brought her out of her shell. And that was the most exciting thing, was to see her just come in and, you know, be just a very quiet person to herself. And then by the time she went to LA, she was out of her shell and she had amazing walk, beautiful pictures, and she just became this gorgeous model. Yeah. And that was probably the first time in my 3 years of training here that I felt like a huge sense of accomplishment. Like I really made a difference in her life and just saw her come to life. And that's why she's super special to me.
All right, and then we have Ahmad. Okay.
And Ahmad is pretty new. He came to us, and I think he was a regular student to start out with, and then he decided that he wanted to train for iPop. He had a great look, just very cool, unique, just awesome look to him. And so he started training again, the same process Madeline went through, 3 months. We started training for runway. He already had a just great natural walk. So it was little technical things that we worked on. And again, he just like completely transformed by the time we went to LA. He was fully confident, really amazing. He won a bunch of awards there, won Model of the Year, signed with his agencies there. Madeline did too. They both won Model of the Year. Made me super proud. So they're both very special to me as a teacher, and I'm super proud of them. And they've both done amazing in the past year. Like, these things have happened so fast for them.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, and so stick around and watch what happens with these two, because they're coming out of their shells today. They're TV time. Okay. All right, baby. Thank you.
Bye.
Mwah. Yes. Alrighty, now I'm sitting here with Madeline Zerby. She's one of the models that Jessica has trained here at John Robert Powers Modeling School and Acting School. And Madeline has done some traveling, and so I want to talk to you about that. So you went to IPOP, a seminar type thing, contest where you go meet the top agencies in Los Angeles. You won Model of the Year, so how was that for you?
It was amazing. I actually didn't think I was going to win. I thought I was just going to be like an experience. And then after I won, I felt great. And then once I got a few people offers for modeling, I was really excited because I really just did it for experience. I didn't really know that I could be a role model.
Well, Jessica felt other, so yes. And from what I'm getting is they're not going to ask you to go to IPOP unless they feel somebody's going to pick you up or you can do it. So
Yes.
did you kind of get that feeling? Did they let you know this beforehand?
Well, they said they like to win. And they don't take people unless they're going to win. So I knew I had somewhat of a chance.
Then you started getting sweaty palms like
Yeah.
before the interviews, and you're like, oh my God, I have to win.
Yes, I had to win.
There you go. And so in Los Angeles, what agencies were talking to you and interested in you?
Well, Next, who I ended up signing with.
Love Next.
Yes, and then Wilhelmina talked a little, and Click from New York, and a few others. But I was really excited. The guy who I met with from Next, I really liked him. So I think that's why I ended up going with them.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
20. All right.
Yeah.
See, you still have a career. You still have a few years to go, and then from there you can go commercial, and that's where the real money is. Commercial. We all know that. Like, you want those commercial contracts because those are the contracts that pay, the big ones. But so you went to LA and you shot. You did some test shooting and you built your book up there. Any photographers' names in LA that you want to mention? Do you remember? I know it's kind of hard.
There was the first photographer who I shot with, Imbre Lopez. He was, so it was like my first real test shoot, and it was amazing because him and his girlfriend, they were super nice. They had like little snacks for me. They helped me feel better because I got really nervous right before. And I still think some of his shots are my favorite. Yes.
So when you actually got back from LA and you almost instantly heard that there was an agency interested in you going to China, is that kind of how it worked?
It was a few months before I found out. My sister, she had gotten married, so I kind of wanted to wait around so I could be at her wedding since I was the maid of honor. But as soon as I sent out the test shoots, the digitals, it was like maybe 4 days later that he called me and was like, what about China? And the pictures that I found on Google were a lot different than once I got there and I saw, so it was a little bit of a shock. But I really like China, but I love everywhere that I go. So.
Tell me about this story. You went on an audition and something about your feet?
Yes, the girl, she said, ooh, your foot's so big.
I love the way you do that. I had to hear you do that. I had to get you to do that. So good. And so how did that make you feel? Like, did they use you?
No, they didn't because the shoes wouldn't go on my feet that I had to wear. And maybe for like an hour I could have pulled it off, but I don't think that I could have done it for like the full 10 hours.
Yeah.
And my left foot is a little bit bigger than my right foot, so that shoe wouldn't go on at all.
Yeah, like no. It's like it pulled the Amy Winehouse. It was like no, okay, yeah. But and then you told me a story about socks. Like,
yes.
Okay, what would explain this to people?
I had to get new socks because mine
In
were
China.
destroyed. Yes.
Okay.
And at first
Good
I
luck.
bought a pair of women's socks and they wouldn't go on my feet. So I went and I bought the extra large men's socks. And still, the heel of the sock wouldn't meet up with my heel. It's like, I guess I'm just not gonna wear socks.
How was Jessica as a mentor?
Oh, it was awesome. She's an amazing teacher. Like, I would probably put on jeans, just a regular tank top, and then something really sparkly or crazy, and it didn't make any sense. Or my socks wouldn't match, and they'd be on the outside of my pants, and my shoes.
Okay, Pippi
Who
loves
knows?
stockings. Pull it together, Pippi. Come on, Punky Brewster. The other thing I want to talk to you about is what you were eating in China. Snake girl.
Yes.
Ew. You were eating snake. How was this?
It was amazing because you got to pick which snake you wanted. You got to hold it.
They were
let it-
alive?
Yes, they were.
Okay, you were
corn
so wrong.
snakes. They
You were
just shove
eating-
a stick through it and barbecue it right there.
Oh my God, and you ate it.
Mhm. It was
So it
kinda
was
like
no
alligator.
more, it was more like, come on. Okay, you ate snake. And it was alive and it was your friend for 10 seconds. And then it was stick and go.
Yep.
That sounds like going to a club in LA. All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Work it out.
Yeah.
All right, make something of yourself, whether it be modeling or whatever. Take what you've learned here and move forward. All right, girl.
We'll do
Thank
our
you,
best.
Madeline.
Thank
Mwah. Oh, wait. Oh, she's a
You messed it
diva.
up.
Oh, I messed it up. All right, get out of my chair. You're done. Billy. All right. And now I'm sitting here with Ahmad. Oh, hi. How are you?
Good, how about you?
I'm fabulous. So, anyways, Jessica also trained you.
Yeah.
John Robert Powers.
Yeah.
How did you even decide that you were going to start at John Robert Powers? What's your story, dude? Share with me.
I was actually still in high school, and I thought it was a scam, blah, blah, blah. And I just,
Like
at one
many
point,
people.
yeah. And I was actually like 17 years old. I couldn't come up here by myself. Long story short, I turned 18. I ended up driving here by myself. Talked to, I think it was Craig and Ashley. And they told me, about this and that, about, JRP itself. It's a modeling school. They just, prepare you, they just teach you.
Yeah.
And I just started taking classes and asked me to go to IPOP. And I was, debating about going to IPOP because it was, kind of early and, I don't know, it was just too quick. And they were telling me, it'll be good, it'll be good. I ended up going to IPOP, which was amazing. Broke me out of my shell. I was so shy. I wouldn't talk to anybody. After IPOP, you just learn,
Yeah.
You learn. And I ended up winning Model of the Year. So had a bunch of agencies that wanted to sign me. I ended up signing with Nomad Management, and Nomad Management got me signed with Wilhelmina in Miami.
So, experiences like shooting your book. I know you went to Miami for Wilhelmina, and you were also shooting your book there.
Yeah, that's where I did test shoots. I stayed there for about a week and a half. I actually met up with Jessica. She had a bunch of photo shoots there.
Uh-huh.
Met up with her, hung out with her a little bit, and stayed there for a week and a half, did a bunch of test shoots, and a couple of months later, my manager was telling me, excuse me.
Hey, it happens.
Tell
It's
me.
happening to me.
Tell me he wants me to head out to Mexico, and I just went to Mexico for a couple months, which was another amazing experience. I loved it.
And so, how was Mexico? You told me earlier you're
Huh?
eating a lot of tacos.
Oh
and-
my God, yeah.
Oh.
The food is crazy, and I used to work at a Mexican restaurant, so it's totally different from where I used to work at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's actual Mexican food. It was so good.
Where are you planning on shooting for next?
After, since I came
What
back-
country, or do you want to stay here? Do you want to go to another country
I'm
and
going,
model?
I'm going back to Miami for a couple months, and after that, we'll see. We'll see from after Miami. I
Has
don't know yet.
anybody brought up Brazil to you?
No, Brazil, no.
No?
Europe, yeah.
I could totally see you on the Brazilian runways during swimsuit fashion week. Totally amazing. But
Nobody.
Yeah, because you almost have that Brazilian look, like the Portuguese,
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Hello, I'm sitting next to you. Hi, meow meow. No, I'm so, ladies, oh my God, this guy's hot in his voice. It's like, ugh. Melts on your tongue like a Hershey's kiss. Anyways, so with the modeling, have you done any runway?
Yeah, and I actually did a really, really big one runway show in Mexico. Did a bunch of catalogs there, but the runway show was for Carolina Herrera.
Yeah.
It was really, really nice. Huge fashion show. It was
You
amazing.
pronounce it correctly.
Yeah,
You're not
learn.
bastardizing my
learn.
language. Oh, I love it.
But it was fun.
And what
The
part of
parties.
Mexico? were
Mexico
you-
City.
Mexico
Amazing.
City is my ultimate favorite. And did you get to experience going right outside of Mexico City to the
To the
pyramids?
pyramids, I was supposed to go, but I didn't have time.
Those stairs
Oh
are
my
this
God,
wide.
yeah.
Okay, those Indians must have been this tall because they climbed 1,000 feet on a stair this wide. There were like 1,000 stairs to get up, and I actually went to the top. When I looked down from the top of the pyramid, I was from the top of the main pyramid. I was like, okay, I literally slid on my butt the whole way down, holding myself. It took me almost an hour to get down. It was scary.
I had a couple friends that went. They
It's-
told me it's really, really steep.
Yeah, it's totally, and yeah, and as I said, the stairs are only like 5 inches.
Yeah.
It's like crazy, and they're perfect.
I
Like,
wish I
how did they
would've
do
went.
that? The aliens. What is your ultimate dream? Where do you want to go with it? Like, do you? I mean, everybody wants to be a super. If you're gonna model, you aspire to be a supermodel. But do you want? Are you gonna use modeling to get into other avenues, or?
I mean, once modeling actually gets started, and I'm like working really good, where I'm working enough, and I could like stop working as modeling, I want to end up acting too. You know, that's my plan.
Days
But-
of Our Lives, are you listening?
But I mean, we'll see.
All right, yeah, I heard they're gonna do a new Baywatch. No, we can't. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you for the interview. I'm sure people are gonna be looking for you on Facebook and everything. Like, you're gonna get a lot of women hitting you up. Don't worry. Tell them no. Okay, he's
I will.
taken right here.
I'm taken.
Mine.